As Epsilon, does the dream continue, Momo? Could we possibly have an all-European final?
Yes.
Yes.
We could. The answer is yes.
Go
Will it? That's not what you asked.
Oh, okay.
Will it?
The cop-out.
Yes.
Yes.
We will. Yes, we will. Epsilon, Splice, Europe's doing good stuff so far. Epsilon have beat Luminosity already in this tournament.
I mean, it would actually be the first time ever an international major in Call of Duty esports history of an all-European grand final.
It's possible. Finally.
It's completely
it
possible.
took long enough.
But
it's still exciting.
10 years or something like that. Like, let's not worry about it. But it is a very real possibility. I mean, here's the map set. Of course, a quick glance at that one. Can Epsilon beat LG, though? That's the question. Their Hardpoint game has been really, really good throughout the weekend, but now you're going up against LG.
I'd look at the game that they played against LG in pool. They have beaten them before. They have beaten them on Hardpoint before. I think it was 3-2. 3-2 it was. Yep. I was thinking it was 3-1. I was wrong. But no, 3-2 Epsilon. They've shown their strengths. They have a 100-point Club D United. They've beaten Splice at Hardpoint. We've just seen what they can do. And they've beaten LG before. However, I do feel like Luminosity, they're different. You know, coming in on a Sunday, they're more experienced, and we saw what they could do at playoffs. I think this is going to be decided on the hard points. I really do.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a situation where if they can steal a hard point or even an uplink, just any respawn, I think they got it. I think that they go into that Game 5 crusher. They played Splice early in this map. Epsilon did, and they 6-0'd them. So yeah. Epsilon, if it goes the distance, I'm definitely favoring them. I know LG has kind of cleaned up their search and destroy quite a bit, but still, they just play for gunfights. They don't do anything overly special, but they're obviously great at the gunfights. Epsilon, they still play better search and destroy. It's still going to be close, of course, but again, I think if they can just steal one respawn, they got it in the bag.
Yeah, I think if Epsilon needs any chance, it has to go to that Game 5. I think they need a team performance, though. Dave has definitely been carrying a lot of load for these guys. He's been sort of the MVP candidate for them for sure. Yep. So, but on the other side, Retaliation, Hardpoint's going to be that first map. Octane's been the MVP for Luminosity. We've been saying it for months now. He's been playing so darn good. If they get a full team performance in these hardpoints from LG, like we've seen them taking down all the biggest opponents here, I think they're going to do it again.
Well, our winners bracket final about to get underway here at Championship Sunday, the CWL Anaheim Open, LG versus Epsilon. Over to our casters.
Thank you so much, Benson. Puckett here with Mr. X, and it's time to get this party started. The winners bracket finals, the only two remaining undefeated teams in that championship bracket. So Matt, we got to talk about the history here. These two teams have matched up 3 times, twice in stage 1, and once already at the very start of pool play on Friday.
Yeah, Luminosity, a much different team at the beginning of the weekend than now, but Epsilon came out on top in that series. And then you remember back at their group stages during the regular season, they split games. It was that Luminosity win against E United. It was the final match of the weekend that put them in the playoffs and sent Epsilon home.
Epsilon looking for revenge. If you look at their total maps together, well, they played 13. It's going to be a 7-6 edge in favor of Epsilon. This one is a total toss-up. You look at the games in this best of 5. Both teams undefeated in 3 of the 5 game modes. The 2 that they're not 100% in, they've won 2 out of 3, so 66%. This is basically the 5 best possible game modes and maps for both teams coming into this matchup.
Yeah, Epsilon loves Retaliation Hardpoint, probably their best Hardpoint map, but no, Luminosity on the other side. This is a map that definitely plays to their strengths, with Octane with the assault rifle in his hands. I want to say, I think that this series comes down to how Josh plays for Epsilon. Now, on the side of Luminosity, they are so strong in terms of slaying. There is 0 weakness, and they just prey and they destroy teams that have that one weak player, not necessarily weak, but somebody who can't really put up kills in a respawn game mode. They really take advantage of teams like that, so you're going to need to see a full effort from Epsilon.
Epsilon looking stronger than ever in their previous match against Splice. They're back on the main stage, going up against the team that met up against Splice in the Stage 1 finals. It's Luminosity. They couldn't get the win over the European team then. They're already 0-1 against Epsilon to start off this weekend. Will they get revenge? Right here, it all starts on Retaliation with Octane.
And Dave has been a monster for Epsilon, so you're going to be looking at this matchup, Octane versus Dave. See who comes out on top in this first Retaliation Hardpoint or really set the tempo for the rest of this game.
Saints really helping out Octane there. The NV4's all over the map, and it's Saints with the hot hand, 3-0. This is a guy who got a lot of criticism early when LG was struggling in the loser brackets. Nowadays, though, I feel like he's the second strongest player, the second most consistent player on the team if you look at Stage 1 and now here Anaheim.
Yeah, he's getting off to a very nice start on a 4 streak, but I would tend to agree with you. I think you look at their playoff run and you look at how they played so far this weekend. Saints has been a huge part of that. You know, in the previous events where they didn't live up to their potential, he kind of struggled a little bit. You were wondering how he was going to fit in. Now they're showing their true potential.
Saints, a player that has always impressed me. He will be on the Luminosity side, but on the other side of the stage, in blue for this match, we have Epsilon. We talked about Dave. He's the superstar of the squad, coming in with, I believe, a 1.22 respawn KD. That's definitely in your top 5 overall. But when you look at the rest of the squad, you said, Josh, he might be the X factor. Who's the second best player, though, on this team for you?
Oh, I think, Hawkeye is a very good player. We saw, last year back all the way to COD Champs, this team got better as the year went on. They really started to pick up around this time of year, and that's when you saw, Hawkeye, Dave, they really started to pick up their play. So I think in this matchup specifically, you're going to need a good game out of Hawkeye.
Saints already with 37 seconds, 5 kills to 1 death, and he's looking for kill number 6. Unable to finish there, but Octane will clean up the mess. 3 straight kills for Octane, and Saints finds number 4 on Josh. We'll see you later, Blue Arrows. Epsilon spawning across the map. Already, we have Luminosity set up for the New Hill.
Yeah, I mean, they have control of the game right now. They control most of Lower Street. They do a nice job on Bridge. They have Cathedral set up here. Does Luminosity, but you look on the other side. We talked a little bit about it. Josh, the side of Epsilon, you can't have a rough game from him. 2-7 right now.
And he just fed Saints. Saints was sitting in the hard point. Josh challenges, tries to stop the scoring. Saints picks up kill number 5. Now the score streak's starting to come out. He's 50 points away from unlocking these Trinity rockets. Shots going down. He's going to pick up the kill with the help of Classic. Classic with a triple in the feed. Octane's going to find player number 4. This is back-to-back hills where you see Epsilon just getting clean wiped without picking up a single kill.
And I love how Luminosity, they just don't try and get funny or pretty in the way they play Hardpoint. It's like, we know we have the gun skill. We are just going to keep challenging, and we're going to keep coming at you over and over and over again and force you to just win that many gunfights. It's very difficult for any team to do.
And our observer, if you can, just stay on board with Saints until he dies. He's 12-1, an 8 streak now after opening up 4-0. Saints is playing phenomenal. He's fully streaked out. He's going to sit back and milk every last second. There's going to be some fights going around the map, but let's stay on board here with Renato. Matt, you've been watching him throughout his career. What can you tell us about this player?
Oh, I mean, he's explosive. We've seen, during Ghost in years past, where he was one of the most consistent slayers in Call of Duty. At that top level, always gave so many of the top teams trouble, but never was really on a team that kind of contended for those championships all the time. Now finds himself in his best chance to do so on Luminosity.
I remember watching him on FaZe Black, Strictly Business, Envy. He has bounced around, been a part of every major organization. Now one of the stars on Luminosity. He's going to break into the hill. One player in the back to challenge. Saints is going to call it out. Knows he doesn't have to go alone. They can just stay inside. Their opponents have to come to them if they want to stop LG from scoring, and LG is rolling their opponents, looking to triple up Epsilon on the scoreboard.
Yeah, this game has not been close thus far. A lot like a lot of the Luminosity Hardpoint games we've seen so far this weekend. After their struggles in group play, as soon as they get into bracket and go up against Optic Gaming, they have looked like another type of team, just playing at an unreal level.
Saints finally going to be cut down for his 3rd death. On the other end, here's a look at Slack, who's only been in 13 engagements. Hasn't had to get too involved as his teammates like Octane are picking up the kills everywhere else. Octane 14-8. He's working on his payloads already. Saints, he's going to be close to getting his reactive.
When we talked about Josh earlier in the game, he kind of turned things around now at 10-12. The issue is everybody else is just getting slaughtered. I mean, they cannot get close to the hotel hallway. A lot of these kills you see going in favor of Luminosity. 137-58. Luminosity also has streaks going towards the bridge, and then Cathedral and Broken yet again.
Poor timing there for Octane as the nades come in. Slack is going to clean up his teammate accidentally. Hawkey's going to find the other 2 kills, so it's really just Slack. He has to stall this one out. It's all Epsilon surrounding the hotel, and Slack's actually going to jump in for the final 5 seconds as Epsilon tries to get into position on the bridge. They're met by Saints and Octane once again. Here comes Saints. Vortex never saw that one coming.
And this Saints going to pick up another 2 kills. It's just absolutely dominating. And something that Luminosity does almost better than every other team is that they have such great teamwork, communication together. You never see one guy trying to challenge 2 or 3. It's like they're going to fly at you. Everybody's in the sky. You got to pick out 2, 3 targets out of the air. So difficult to do.
Here comes Classic trying to clean up. He will fall, but they're Slacked and Octane still up. As we say it, Hockey tries to pick up a kill or 2. At the end of all that fire, it's Slacked on a 4 streak, looking for a full minute of hill time now. They are just about 80 points away from locking up game number 1. Classic continues to slay, and Epsilon, I'll be honest, Matt, I've been watching them on the mini-map. There's so many times when the players are getting shot from behind, being shot from the side. They just don't seem to have the same level of awareness that Luminosity has.
It's just Luminosity is just playing a different game. I mean, they're just so much faster than the side of Epsilon right now. That Epsilon, playing a little bit slower pace. That, the game's moving so fast, it's very hard to locate some of these players. You see they try and bait and switch there. It's going to be some nades going in from Dave, but it's going to be Slacked, earning himself the Trinity Rocket on a 5 streak. You have these score streaks if you're Luminosity. If you want to break it, try and, put the game really away here, but they don't need it. Saints with 2, Slacked with 1. They break in and get control of lower street.
And if this is any of the other teams, I feel like Slacked is dead before he's able to pick up that 6 kill. That's going to be costly. Hockey wasn't able to finish it. Now Slacked fully streaked out. You see Saints also fully streaked out. These 2 players could seal the deal in game number 1, but to be honest, I don't know if they need to use anything but the K-bars and NV4s they have in hand.
Yeah, I mean, 15 seconds left. It looks like they're not going to be the first ones on the rotation to Cathedral, so you can just burn all those streaks there. I mean, just rain hell from above with, bombardments, Trinity rockets, get control of that, just wipe off the map, Epsilon, and get control, end the game on the next hill.
Saints picking up Dave from the window. He's going to get back smacked there. Kill is instantly traded out by Slack. 3-on-3 situation with the core anchor being Hockey in the hill. Hockey, though, is going to get bombed. Here comes the first rocket. Misses. Second rocket connects. Third one gets the job done for Slack. Man advantage now. Saints is behind enemy lines. His teammates are pushing. Saints not even firing any shots. He's going to slip in, get some more score. Now the engagements. He tried to be a little too sneaky there, Matt, and that may cost him. Epsilon, they need reinforcements to flood this hill.
Yeah, but now Epsilon, they have to get across the bridge. You're going to see more streaks come in, and this will be a break for LG. They know where the last player is. You gain that vision using the score streaks. 20 seconds left on the hill. They can't win it here, and very smart by Luminosity. They're going to leave 1 player on the hill. They leave with Saints and Classic. They spawn up over by Broken. They elect to stay. They don't win the gunfights, but still, you have score streaks. You have some payload abilities if you're LG to work with to end it on Broken.
And this has to be so frustrating if you're Epsilon. You just went toe-to-toe with Splice. You outslayed him. You got fantastic games out of Dave. In this game, no one's really been able to find their rhythm. Vortex can't get anything done at short range. Hawkeye's not getting those double kills, the triples we saw from him in his last match. And honestly, I think the biggest factor is Dave not going on these big streaks, not living up to that 1.2 KD. On the other side, you're getting the best game ever out of Saints.
It's just sometimes you just run into a team that is so on fire on another level. There's nothing you can do about it. 250 to 116 in favor of Luminosity. And Chris, I had just casted the LG EG game, and their hardpoint in that one was like 250 to 83. So LG is just blowing teams out today in hardpoint.
Luminosity is all smiles after winning a big hardpoint game number 1. They remain perfect when it comes to retaliation HP. Looking at the numbers, though, Octane, another fantastic game from him. You had a positive Slack. Classic was doing his role. Saints 28-12. Almost 2 minutes of hill time and 8 defends, topping all categories in the lobby.
And it's a bad loss for Epsilon. That's a map that they really love. They love Retaliation Hardpoint, probably their best Hardpoint map. And to get blown out on it, you kind of look around and it's like, well, if that's the best draw we got in the whole series, it's going to be a rough one.
And I was really looking forward to this matchup here. Luminosity, this was a squad I thought was going to take Splice the distance. 2 grand finals potentially back at stage 1. I know they were frustrated with the way that one finished out. They went packing in a game 5, walking away in 2nd place. Tonight, they are looking for their first trophy in IW, and they have a chance to send themselves to the grand finals here with 2 more wins. Breakout Search and Destroy is coming up next. They're 66% on this map in game mode, but on the other side, Epsilon has not dropped Breakout Search and Destroy yet in Anaheim.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny, this Luminosity team. I know at the beginning of last year, they were so strong, the trio of Octane, Slacked, and Classic, and then they kind of fell off towards the end of the year. Now it's kind of the opposite. They didn't get off to a great start at the beginning of the year, but now they're starting to click towards the end of the season.
It's kind of crazy. The NV4 is coming into play from everyone, it seems, is the new meta. Look at these numbers, Matt. Which one jumps out to you the most?
Oh, man, the game from Saints. I mean, 28 kills. You see the KD there, the 2.33. The amount of hill time he gets, just absolutely dominant.
And Josh, I mean, he's the best KD on the team with a .81. That is just a testament to how badly they were getting outslayed. When you look at the hard points, Luminosity, they lead all teams. They outslay their opponents by about 10 kills on average. That game, it was way more than 10. And if anyone's going to be able to turn this series around, I have a feeling, though, for Epsilon, it's going to be this guy. He jumped on this team back when they were out of the top 5 in Europe. They had no placement in pools. They had to fight through open brackets. Josh, he has faith in the youngsters he's surrounded himself with.
Yeah, you know, Josh, he joins this team. He's very close friends with the guys on it, and he brings a lot of leadership, one of the best European players in Call of Duty history. You know, speaking with some of the guys on the desk and whatnot, they rate him, you know, top 4, top 5 in terms of overall players in Europe in history of competitive Call of Duty. So always high praises for Josh. Needs to be a big vocal leader going into game 2.
On the other side, here's a look at some of the numbers we've seen from Saints. He's not the highest KD when it comes to search and destroy on the squad, but his numbers have been fantastic. A 1.03 overall KD. Search and destroy first bloods is where we're going to be looking for him to get involved. He's constantly a guy on maps like Throwback who's just going to slide in, look for that intro kill, and open up the lanes for guys like Octane.
Yeah, now, you know, him and Slack have done a nice job in search and destroy, really kind of upping the pressure, but Saints for me in the respawn game outs, that has totally transformed this Luminosity team into the juggernaut you're seeing today.
The weakness for Luminosity in the past, it was said to be their search and destroy. We'll see if that game mode continues to plague them. Guys, feel free to sit in those seats on the far left. Don't be shy. The rest of the house is packed, and it's time to get this party started. Game number 2 is loading up right now as we head to Breakout.
Yeah, we've seen Luminosity do some nice things on Breakout, search and destroy. A lot of the action usually goes over towards showers, but they've been one team that's been, you know, very good at attacking this B site. So look to see how Epsilon goes to defend.
It's kind of crazy to see the North American crowd here in Anaheim. Everybody's sitting as close as they can to LG. I think I know where the fans are going with this one, but I want to hear your prediction. As this map loads up, who do you think has the edge?
I think Luminosity. I never really kind of take them in search and destroys, but they're just clicking on all cylinders. I've seen them win this S&D before. I've seen them win it pretty handily, so I'm going to go with LG.
We got a sniper out. It's in the hands of Classic. How often do we see this?
Oh, well, it's going to be the NV4.
Oh, my goodness.
They're going to be
a thermal. Let me get closer to the screen.
Yeah, they're probably going to be using that. I know, maybe get some smokes, trying to go towards the mid-map.
And there is the NV4 thermal quick draw stock is his loadout. He's also going to be your bomb carrier. Now, Classic, you'll see him with the camo in a lot of the other game modes. When it comes to search, he's been using the Centurion mostly for that trophy.
Yeah, they've switched him in Octane's role, so they're going to put Octane in the role of the active camo player. You know, always has pretty consistent games, one of their best search and destroy players right now. So looking to see if they can get that camo as often as possible.
Octane takes 2 bullets and he's challenging anyway. Headshot on Dave. That is 2 down for Epsilon. Only Josh and Hockey left alive. Bomb still not planted, though, for Luminosity. So if you get a pick, you can slow this down. Josh, though, just going to get swarmed. Early shots from Octane. Classic picks up the kill. And Hockey, he stands no chance. Octane picking up 3 and assisting the 4th. Might as well give him the ace.
Yeah, you cannot get a better start there for your camo player. But the talk, just when we watched him go over towards the cave, right? I mean, he throws that nade. They're able to pick up this first player. But you're like, well, how is he able to locate that second player? He actually gets a hit marker when the nade goes all the way to the back. So able to know there's another player back there. Knew he had him weak. That's why he challenged.
And Scumbag Slack actually gets credit for that last kill. So Octane, he's only looking at about 250 in terms of score towards the score streaks. We take our eyes over to Epsilon, though, on the attack. Hockey and Vortex, 2 players that were crucial in their series win against Splice, both having a rough hard point. And the early shots going down, I believe that's Dave actually it's number 5, Josh, across the hall, is looking for the pick on Octane. Both players going to survive the initial fight.
And if I'm LG and Octane sees him there in the window, as long as he's kind of full health and not challenging after he gets 2 shots, I'm like, you challenge that gunfight all day. I'll take my chances with Octane going up against Josh at that range.
Classic peek, spots Hockey. And now here comes the push. LG gonna try and move up the stairs, but on the opposite end, Vortex gets the call, and he is able to get the pick. First blood going in favor of Epsilon. Can he find a second? He's tagged up, and now 3 down. It's all up to Octane versus the full Epsilon lineup.
Such a fantastic play there by Vortex. He gets caught in the middle of the map, able to stay alive after getting first blood. The rest of his teammates funnel down that spiral staircase. This should be a round that Epsilon wins.
Octane could be playing for his streaks, but also doesn't want to feed on the other end, and that's exactly what's going to happen. He is going to jump off the map, not going to allow that bomb to blow up.
Yeah, not going to give any kills to the side of Epsilon either. So it'll be 1-1. Epsilon wins that round. It's a very nice play from Vortex that leads them to it.
Starting off round number 3, back on the attack. Classic, your bomb carrier. You see that trophy icon directly above him. The initial grenade will be blown up, keeping Classic alive. Octane looking for the early pick. It's been a little bit of a joust against Josh in the windows at the start of every round. This time around, though, LG, they're not going to the top of the map. Everyone is stacking up in showers. They want to target this bottom bomb site.
And Octane knows there's one player flanking here. Does not know how close. Finally going to get challenged, and that's going to be a fight that Vortex wins yet again. But Saints in showers with the ERAD. Takes out Josh, takes out Vortex. Quickly forces a 2v2.
Saints with 2 picks already. Can he find a third? Hockey in the window. Dave, you see him on the mini-map. He's protected the site. The duo of Slacked and Saints grouped up, working together. And I like this maneuver here from Epsilon. Take their time, regroup.
Yeah, it was important to get together there. You have the guys on Luminosity. They're running as a pack. Cannot spread out in a situation like this. You pretty much just have to go check B, play the clock, go to A, maybe you check that.
This double ERADs, Matt, I feel like LG had the advantage before the fight even started. At that range, you are not going to be able to outshoot an ERAD with an NV4 and a K-bar.
And this is also a really nice play by 2 teammates. You see Slacked, he picks up the first kill, he slides on by. That immediately is going to draw Dave's attention. And then once you see those initial shots, Saints comes right around the corner, takes him out with the ERAD.
Helps when you're winning every single gunfight. Saints, a big player in that last round, picks up 3 kills. And now it's Luminosity on defense. Epsilon back on the attack. Player number 7 going to be your bomb carrier. That's Dave on your mini-map. And you are going to see him escorted by Hockey. Vortex is watching the flank here. He's in charge of making sure his teammate Josh doesn't get snuck up on.
They're trying to get LG to kind of come towards the middle of the map and then maybe kind of jump by Vortex or give Vortex an easy kill. Playing in that position, and Saint's going to get called out. Now you may see a push come through the middle of the map for the side of Epsilon, but here comes Josh on a nice flank. Oh, barely picks up the kill there on a Slack, so it's going to be first blood for Epsilon.
The NV4 hipfire, not always the most accurate. Vortex, though, he's going to mow him down with the ERAD, chases Saints right into Dave. And Dave, his shot is back on. He's looked so deadly. Anytime you peek him, you're hit with 3 or 4 bullets from the NV4. Octane's going to find Dave, though. So this is going to make it a 1 versus 3. Bomb planted. It's not looking good. Look for a kill or 2 to work towards that camo, but that's going to be about it. As you see Octane taken down. Epsilon, they tie this one up 2-2.
Yeah, nothing Octane can do right there. 1v4 scenario yet again. It's that middle map action from Epsilon, specifically Vortex, that is giving Luminosity trouble on the defensive side of things.
Tie game, round 5 coming up next. And here comes the push. It's going to be Epsilon on defense. Luminosity back on the attack. The last round, they went over to showers. They got bailed out after Saints picked up a double, and then they were able to finish the round up top over at B. This time, Josh is going to find Octane. That opening duel that's happened for 5 rounds, well, it finally works in Josh's favor.
Yeah, Josh going to get a big first blood there for Epsilon, but Luminosity, looks like they were going for control of the A site. Now they're going to try to wolf pack up, push all the way through here. This is a nice play here from LG. They can plant the bomb on the B side for, a defensive side plant, and then they can take control of this back area.
And I like the maneuvers here from Slack. He's going to let his 2 teammates keep going. He checks every single corner and watches the cuts, just making sure they don't get flanked. They are taking their time, and they're looking for an early pick. Every corner has been checked. In this corner, they're going to find Hockey.
But they do have control of the site. Should be able to get bombed down pretty safely. Now you're in a pretty good spot if you're LG.
Saints waiting for the push, and here it comes. Hockey's gonna pick him. Just 2 left, make it just 1 alive, and it's going to be slacked in a 1 versus 3. Dave's hopped on the bomb. Vortex and Hockey protecting. Slacked. He knows this round's over.
Gonna try and come out, spray on the bomb, not able to get any vision on it. It is planted for him, so he should be able to actually see Dave while he's defusing the bomb, but so much fire, the E-Rad at range, not able to hit any shots.
And there's a look. Hockey with the final kill on Classic before that bomb was defused. Slack did fall, so any momentum he may have gained, it is gone. Epsilon takes our lead for the first time. We're going into round number 6, 3-2 advantage. And they will have the defender's advantage as the attack. Excuse me, they have the attacking advantage as the attack is coming in the hands of Dave, bomb carrier as usual. And why do you think this is, Matt?
You know, you're just trying to get him into a position a little bit further up on the map. He is the player who we usually do see carry the bomb for this Epsilon lineup. I know in the past when you were actually getting points towards Camo for planting the bomb, they always had it in Dave's hands. It's going to be 2 kills for LG that opens it up. They push straight through to Cave, so they don't give Epsilon the opportunity to flank right away.
Josh, last one standing after that skirmish. Slacked and Saints still up for Luminosity.
They know where the bomb is. They know they have killed the bomb carrier, so they're just defending here over by Cave. They know Josh has to come towards them. And now you see Saints just peeking out, has the vision. Slack jumps up, finishes him off. LG ties it up at 3 apiece.
Look at the shots here from Slacked in your round-ending kill cam. Gives him the peek. Oh, hey, Josh. Little hover action. Getting the job done. NV4 clutching up as he hits all 4 bullets. Now we'll take a look. Luminosity. They get to determine the movement on the map.
Yeah, he just does a nice job there with his boost, managing his meter, just puts him a little bit above the tractor. Able to add some nice, easy shots. And this is a nice push here from LG. It looks like you're going to have Classic. Just watch this mid. Maybe you can, if you're LG, you kind of force some action over here at Cave, then just turn around. You know Epsilon, as soon as they've seen you, they send players on the flank right away.
Here we go. It's going to be Vortex. Hot on the trail, Octane. He smells it coming, though, but he's not fast enough. Dave finds 2, Josh finds a 3rd, but Slack comes in and finds 2. Slack, last man standing, won't be able to get the ace. No miracles happening here, and you got to appreciate the aggression there. The defensive team simply pushed through the middle of the map and came behind everybody.
Yeah, and Epsilon's been doing this all the time. They've been putting a ton of pressure towards the middle of the map. You've seen Vortex time and time again. That time it's Josh and a teammate coming through Cave. So Epsilon doing a nice job putting the pressure through mid-map on Luminosity. Luminosity has not adjusted to it very well.
We take a look at the new moves coming in from Epsilon. They are not going with the same strategy as their previous attack. Dave, the bomb carrier this time around, looking for the fight. Spots Classic, knows there's got to be a buddy nearby, and as Classic peeks again, Dave gets out of dodge.
Saints may have 2 kills here. You see both players via X-ray. As soon as he hears some shots come around the corner, he's going to peek one. This is where he's going to make the play.
Saints, the defender, in position to do damage. Josh is going to strike first. Classic trades it out, and Dave is there to give Epsilon the edge.
This is a game where you're seeing Epsilon doing a much better job of trading these kills out. See, every time one kill comes in from LG, it's quickly traded for the side of Epsilon. Oh, Saints, though. Look at this play.
Renato can clutch up here. He didn't know where that 4th player was. And it's going to be Dave left alive here for Epsilon. Dave with the superior firepower at this angle.
Being go on with Dave. You see how close he is to the camo. Not going to come into play this round, but it would be huge. He could pick up this kill. Be able to get camo and another round win for Epsilon.
And the pressure is on Dave to plant here. The time is running out, so he can't just play the clock. He's got to get into position, and here comes Saints sliding in and clutching the 1v2. We talked about how strong he has been throughout this event. Matt, we've seen some great ones from him throughout Call of Duty's history, but this may be the best we have ever seen Saints.
Yeah, it's a nice play there from Saints. He was able to pick up 1 kill. I think he knew Dave was on the bomb, but didn't want to challenge right away, get his health back, force Dave to make a play on the site later in the round. It's a smart play there from Saints.
And realizing that he is going to have the edge as long as he sticks to short range. Luminosity, they could take the lead here in round number 9 after trailing the previous 2. And here comes the push. They're working as a squad. You can see on your mini-map, Octane positioned to protect his teammates.
It's also a big kill because you deny Dave getting camo. I mean, if Epsilon's up 5-3 right now and they have active camo, maybe you see them use it, but it's another opening kill here for Josh on Octane.
Injured players, but the Scarab doesn't pick up any kills. His blast shield's too strong. Epsilon still with 4 up, going up against the 3 here from Luminosity. Slacked has his FTL jump.
I like this play a lot. See Epsilon, they've all moved in. You have no idea where this is coming from the LG side.
Now they do is they see the grenades, but the pre-fire's on the bomb. He expected someone to be defusing. Instead, Epsilon just says, come on in, boys. Cleans all 4 up, and now a perfect round will give Epsilon the edge. They are 1 round away from taking game number 2 and tying up this series.
Yeah, I mean, they could have played that a little bit even slower and maybe played around the FTL. Try and cause some action like over by the right door, and then maybe slacked FTLs, kills the guy off bomb. They're able to kind of draw that round out. But it's a good play by Luminosity. Just Epsilon played it a bit better. They're able to win the fights and go 1 round away from evening this series up.
I feel like the difference maker in this game for me has been the defense. On breakout, you have the bomb, you get to dictate the pace of the map. It's so difficult when you're on the defensive side and you get hit with 3 players stacked on one end. Luminosity, they're gonna find themselves in trouble, especially if Josh lands another first blood.
Yeah, and right now, the battle of the 2 camo players. Octane for LG just picks up a first blood there, but you see how far away he is from camo. Got off to a good start, but really nothing since then. Dave, so close to camo, only 1 kill away.
Octane picks up 2, though. It's a 4-on-2 advantage. Just Dave and Hockey left alive. Now, Dave, even if they lose this round, he has to get 1 kill. He's got to add to an assist. He has to unlock that camo for around 11.
And there he goes. He takes out Saints. It's almost what you're playing for if you're Epsilon at this moment in time, as you see Slacked gets taken out. Now you just don't want to feed a kill to Octane, because look how close Octane is to his camo. So we potentially go into a round 11.
There's Octane, and Dave is still going to play this one. He thinks it's possible, and now listening to Josh. Josh makes the call. Let's go and do it in round 11. 5-5, give it up, Anaheim. This is your winners bracket finals, and we are seeing some awesome S&D. Round 11 coming up next. There's a look at the Anaheim Convention Center, the home to some of the most historic Call of Duty matches of all time. A brand new rivalry starting here as we have Luminosity taking on Epsilon. All 4 players surviving the initial skirmish. You see Vortex on your screen surrounded by those red arrows.
This is maybe one way you kind of negate the camo use. You don't let the round draw out. You play aggressive towards the mid-map. You don't let Dave make a play, getting behind enemy lines. It'll be Vortex FTLing right into Octane, and that gives Octane his own camo, and here comes Dave. He's able to get one player directly around the corner, gonna lose it to Octane. Now Octane has to pop his camo. Saints picks up 1. A huge play there. So that kill by Octane onto Vortex after he FTLs gives him his camo. He's the last one to pop it. He picks up 1 at the end. Saints gets 2 big kills. LG up 2-0.
Saints gets 2 big kills. How many times are we going to say that throughout this series? Fantastic work from that young man right there. The father on Father's Day, showing off in front of this Anaheim crowd.
Yeah, it's nice. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, we got Kai in the venue, Saints baby.
Playing on Father's Day, that's awesome.
Jersey. Pretty awesome stuff to kick this one off. Saints and LG looking strong, but that was so close. They had to fight back from a 5-4 lead from Epsilon.
Yeah, they never really adjusted to Vortex and kind of what the pressure they were doing in the mid-map. I believe it was Josh and Vortex for the side of Epsilon. They're consistently getting first bloods. LG never really figured out a way to stop it. Didn't matter, though.
Here's a look at some of the best moments from games 1 and 2. It was all LG as Octane and Saints put on a show back on Retaliation. Breakout, though, back and forth all the way to the end. The better camo play came in at the very last moment as Octane gives LG a 2-0 lead. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get this uplink started, we got to show you the G Fuel key player matchup. On your left, representing Luminosity, it's Slacked, and on the right, we got Hockey.
Yeah, Hockey has done a fantastic job in Uplink, the 1.10 Uplink KD, 11 total points to his name, but Slacked, the stats don't show the impact that he makes, making it a little bit easier for his teammates to play the map. He's taken a little bit of a backseat role in Uplink.
Those are your objective players to watch as we go into game number 3. It's your G Fuel key player matchup.
Definitely LG I could see winning. I know they've won a couple, but I could really see them coming out and being really strong.
Definitely LG, and they showed that at Season 1. I think LG is the next breakthrough team if that were to happen. I think that they showed that their search and destroy has improved a little bit, which was their obvious weakness. The past events, their respawn is probably the best in the games. Everyone kind of figures out what to do and how to win, and it just comes down to executing, and as long as they do that, they should be able to win more matches than they have in the past, which in turn would lead to a championship.
LG can win because they were close already compared to Stage 1. Their respawn's really good, so all they have to do is just win that surge, and they're there.
Welcome back to CWL Anaheim. You heard it there first. All the pros believe Luminosity, one of the toughest teams to beat. Before we get into this map number 3, Precinct, we're going to explain a little play that Luminosity, something they do a little bit differently when they are attacking this bottom side. So typically, when you're attacking this bottom side, you're trying to get this statue control. This is what's so important. This area, the reason is, if you're able to attack it, you can take this drone like Octane loves to do. He brings it this way. If they're able to pick up 1 or 2 kills, well, then they're able to get an easy one. Instead, what Luminosity loves to do, especially when Octane, he uses that overdrive payload, they pick up a kill or 2. Instead of sort of faking the team out, what he does is he brings this drone, oops, sorry, that's a kill, don't want that. He brings this drone this way. And really what this does is this forces these guys who are sort of defending the portal like Dave, who's playing that interception that you see so often, it forces those guys to come out of under their portal, and usually allows their team to sort of push up on this map. And it's just something a little bit differently that Luminosity does different. So when he has that overdrive, expect him not to go statue, expect him to go inner, because as those spawns come up under the portal, they're gonna be looking for that interception. Octane, he's gonna throw them off guard. Back to game number 3, we're gonna send it over to our casters.
Thank you so much, Merc. It's hard with the echo, but Merc teaching us all the knowledge bombs, guys. And when we keep our eyes on Octane, I just love the versatility of this player. You saw him using the camo clutching up in game 2. His overdrive can be devastating when you get to uplink.
Yeah, and I agree with what Joe was saying. A lot of times what we see the side of Luminosity do is they get that drone and they go down towards construction. And as we know, when you have the drone in hand, it gives like a little blitz to the other team, every few seconds where the drone is. When they bring the drone down towards construction, you see that kind of icon come up on your map. If you're the side of Epsilon, you focus all your energy towards that area. The issue is, Luminosity pushes through that statue side, they wipe you out. Octane comes through the front side, puts it in a 2-point play.
If Epsilon wants to go to the grand finals, and if we want any hope of an all-EU championship match, they have to win 3 straight. And the bad news here, if you're Epsilon, you came in with an even playing field when it came to Hardpoint. You had the edge in search and destroy statistically. But now in Uplink, even though you're undefeated on this map, LG, they've beaten you in 2 of the 3 you played in the past. Do you think this is going to be now 3 for 4 for LG?
See, the issue I think that Epsilon will have is with the way LG kills in respawn game modes, like they're never going to get blown out. So even if Epsilon gets an early lead, and it's going to be a close game, and then all it takes is for any 4 of the guys to pick up 2-3 kills in a row for LG, maybe one gets streaks or a payload ability, and they're able to just win the game. So I think Epsilon, they really need to come out early, put on a big lead. if they're going to hold on to it.
I was taking a look at the payloads. It's going to be interesting to see who is going to use those the most effectively, most likely in the second half. If you see someone unlocking Overdrive or Camo in the first half, they're having a monster game. But it's always that second half where games can be won or lost based on the payload play. And I'm looking at the Camo player here for this Epsilon squad. Who is going to get in and get the dunks? Can Dave have a better game than he had back in the Hardpoint?
And he's going to need to, because he may not ever even get Camo if he doesn't. So you always have to wonder with that, you know, with your Camo player. You need that guy to go off. You need him to put up big numbers, earn that active Camo, especially in a game mode like Uplink. It's the one game mode, really, where you can kind of guarantee points for your team with a good active Camo use.
We just got an update from our buddy TP. We're asking what's going on with Splice and Cloud9. It's looking like Splice has the edge so far in that series. So if Epsilon falls here, we could see a battle of the two European teams again, a rematch in the losers bracket finals. But we know if Luminosity wins this one, they are on their way to a championship match with $80,000 up for grab in first place, a guaranteed $48K for just reaching that point.
Just reaching that point's not good enough for LG. They got so close in the playoffs. They want to come here and win this event. Be huge for this team. They got so close last year. I remember the Stage 1 playoffs. The crazy Game 11 against Optic Gaming. They end up losing. They definitely got close enough there in the Stage 1 playoffs this year. They want to win in a big event, though.
Hockey opens up with a double kill. There's one defender left, and it's going to be Classic who gets a two-piece with the ERAD. Vortex is there with Josh just a little bit too late, and Josh continues to slay. So now Drone in the hands of Epsilon. They're going to be bringing this one up, but every player from Luminosity picking up some big kills. When they're the last man alive in position, they're clutching up. That's 2 times in a row.
Yeah, and LG is also one of the best teams at intercepting the drone when they go for these throws. Just like that, you see Octane pick it up right out of the sky. The drone gets reset. You cannot play this type of style against LG. You're going to have to muscle your way in because they're so good at intercepting these one-point plays.
And here we see Vortex with the ERAD having the advantage at short range. So far, Saints has been running that K-bar. Keep your eyes on the weapons as this game progresses. That's going to be so many LG kills, and it should be LG clearing the drone and moving this one forward. Instead of the clear, though, Matt, they want to run this up the right perimeter. You have Slacked as the lead blocker, working with Classic here. Only 2 defenders up right now for Epsilon. That kill is going to open the door. 3 more players now to go through as everyone's stacked up. The kills are in the feed, and here comes your dunk.
Yeah, it's going to be a one-point play. He gets killed right as he goes into the goal. So it'll be 1 point there for LG. Very close to making it a 2, but they pick up some kills. They get the drone out of their base, and they already have players pushed up way far on that top statue side, so they take advantage of that positioning. They put in points.
Vortex and Josh now in the feed with 3 straight kills. Saints is the last one up. Can he slow down Epsilon? There's one big one, make it 2. Saints with another big 2-piece.
He's on a 3 streak now, trying to get back to the base.
Oh, no intercepted as well.
An interception coming in there is actually a pass that he actually goes into. So that was a pass from Epsilon trying to go forward to Vortex in the back, and Saints just kind of stumbles into it, intercepts.
And I'll be honest, the European teams really impressed me with their passing throughout the uplinks. We saw it from Splice, even Supremacy, our French squad, was showing they had opening strategies that involved 2 to 3 passes. So far in this game, though, it's been a slaying battle won by Luminosity. They've had more control over the Epsilon base, and that's what converted the initial point. Epsilon, they've had 2 scoring attempts, but both have been intercepted, and they are having a tough time winning the slaying fights on the perimeter.
And Vortex has really played well here in the first half. 11-5, has the drone in hand. They're trying to go down towards construction. They get mowed down by Slacked. He's able to pick up 2. Watching over the drone here, Slacked with yet another kill here on defense. LG now with drone in hand. You see, look at the top of the minimap. It's going to be number 8. Saints gets into a fabulous position. He picks one up on the cut, and now look how far up he is. He's going to be able to pick up at least 1 more kill here. This could be a 2-point play.
And sees Josh. He makes the call, but the kills don't land. A melee attempt is happening from Classic, and Classic's going to get it and throw this one down. The individual effort, but he wouldn't have been able to get that beat down unless the communication was there from Saints.
Yeah, Saints was picking up some big kills in the middle of the map. Opened up that opportunity to wrap the drone back towards the top side. It's going to be LG throwing drone down over by Statue. They're going to get killed out here. You see Classic not in a great position, has to go back towards that top side because spawning his teammates down towards the bottom on construction. Now it's just going to be Slacked and Saints. Slacked picks up 2, Saints with 1 more. trying to make a push here. It's going to be Octane picking the drone up right out of the sky. Every time, Epsilon's done a nice job hanging in the slaying department a little bit, right? Yeah. Picked up some kills. They've got close to the LG base, but LG on the defensive end has just slaughtered them. And we talked about the payload abilities, Chris. Dave right now, 4 and 12. You know, he may never get to that active count.
Yeah, and I think the trouble may be the K-bar. He's just running into the ERADs of Slacked and Classic. If you look at every time that Dave is dying, it's most likely one of those two players who are finding him. Dave, incredible NV4 player. He can do the damage at range. His K-bar has been less effective at short range. Hockey on your screen, though, starting to heat up. This is a 3 streak for him. You still have Josh and Vortex positive. So Epsilon, they're trying to do what they were unable to do in the Hardpoint, which is to win that slaying battle.
It's the 3rd interception for Luminosity during this first half. That time, I believe it's Octane for the 2nd time so far in this game. It's a potential of 3 points that could have went in for Epsilon. They get none.
Luminosity leading by 4 with 17 seconds left on the clock. And they are threatening to add 1 more point. Will they get to the drone? It's currently in the hands of Epsilon. They're going for the push. Josh is going to open up with a nice 2-piece. The K-bar leading the way. He gets the toss. Can't go for the shot. He's cut down. No score. 4-0 at half.
Well, now it starts to play with your mind. I mean, Josh is over there on the wall run, you know, not a ton of time left, but he sees the one player over the LG goals who's trying to get that player to jump in the sky before he lets the shot off, but not enough time. Slack right there with the ERAD, able to kill him.
Big plays coming in from Luminosity. They are 5 minutes away from securing their 2nd top 2 finish. Will they be headed to another championship match? It's looking likely unless Epsilon can turn it around right here. You look at the player who needs to step up his game, it's Dave. Your superstar coming into this match has been the most negative on the squad.
You need him to really turn it around in a big way. You're going to make this comeback against Luminosity. The drone gets thrown out towards the top side of the minimap. See Josh and Hockey in the feed. Need to get control of this top area. If they can do it, they can start to rally some scores together.
Matt, we kind of talked about Dave and his AR play. Is he going to have an easier time playing from the cat statue?
I mean, you're going to see Hockey with the NV4 in his hand, so this is going to be the position that he's going to be in. Dave is going to be the one they're going to rely on to get into that top ticket area, put pressure on the base of LG.
A little more aggressive in that role. Here comes the push, though, from LG. It's going to be Saints with drone in hand. Slacked, able to get a pick, and that is going to open things up for the 1-point toss. 5-0 now. It's a 3-possession game.
And now Epsilon getting back towards the mid-map. Don't want to say they're going to start to press here, but you get the feeling that they're going to start to play a little bit faster, and they're not going to be able to pick up these kills. LG could blow this game out of the water.
And Vortex has his FTL jump. He's shown us it in the past. He's going to get a beat down. FTL jumps after the dunk and finds a 2nd smack on Octane. Vortex with a highlight play right there. That's the momentum they needed. Now you got Josh rallying in a 2nd drone. If Hockey can stay up and get the picks, this could be more points, and it is.
It's a big sequence of events there for Epsilon, and all it takes is to get that one player in position, lock down that back alley, and they're able to put on 3 straight points.
If you remember back to the match against Splice, it was Epsilon down 9 at halftime. They came back, brought it within 1 possession as the game came to a close. Epsilon, when they get it going, they can convert point after point. But here's Luminosity on the attempt. Slack with drone in hand. 2 defenders are there. A teammate clearing the way. It's Classic and Octane. Hockey going to pick up the final kill, but not before the dunk goes down. 4-point advantage again now for Luminosity.
Yeah, and Octane now on a 4 streak. The players from Epsilon keep going back to their goal, and he just keeps deleting them, sending them back to their grave. As you see, he's going to push forward a little bit. 1 player directly underneath. A nice low wall run here from Octane, finally able to pick up the kill. He is close to score streaks. There it is. It's going to be the Trinity Rockets and the Scorchers.
And that was just a 1-point play from Classic. I'm a bit surprised he didn't go for the pass to Octane, who could have just jumped off that wall and dunked it in. But a 5-point lead. Regardless, Octane slowly dropping the bomb on Dave as Slack picks up Hockey. Josh is on respawn. All alone is Vortex here as the whole horde is closing in. Octane leading the charge. Saints and Slack still in the action, threatening with the objective.
Yeah, it was a 9 streak there from Octane. We were talking a little bit about it pre-game. It's like you can only keep this team quiet for so long that the game is close. Epsilon's right there, but eventually LG just goes on one of these insane sprees. They just, none of their players are dropping right now. I mean, everything in the kill feed has been red.
Look at the kills. You got 90 from the squad. Everyone within about 4 kills of each other. Octane trying to pull away now. Finds kill 26 and 27. Another dunk from Classic. 90 seconds left here in our winners bracket finals. Luminosity looking for the hot 3-0. Epsilon, they need to turn it around right here, but they've been pinned in their base. That kill feed, it is blood red. Epsilon falling over and over again. They can even make mistakes with their passes and score on you.
It's another streak from Octane. More score streaks now raining down. And when they are playing like this, there may not be any team in the world that can take them out.
No bombardment yet for Octane. He's just an assist away, though. Does he win the gunfight? There's the help. There's the score streaks. Unlocked. Punishment coming from the sky at any moment. You saw Epsilon try and wrap around, but the kills are simply going all in favor of LG. They have the better shots here. The bombardment is going to keep them locked in their base. Now you got Trinity rockets falling from the sky.
Every time we go to somebody on the side of LG, they're in a streak. It's a Scorchers, a bombardment, it's a Trinity rocket. I mean, just so much to work with here at the end. More streaks coming down from Octane.
Picks up slack, so a little breathing room, but with 30 seconds left, Matt, there is no way Epsilon
And this was a
back.
5-3 game.
Yep.
With like 2 minutes to go. Just shows you the firepower that LG has.
LG playing for stats at this point. 31-18 is Octane. Saints is +3. You got 31-22 out of Classic, and Slack 26-20. Everyone putting up positive numbers today as Luminosity moves on to your championship match. The embrace from Luminosity on the main stage, the frustration being shown from Epsilon. This was their opportunity to show the world what they're made of, to lock in a spot in the grand final. Instead, they came out flat in that first hard point. I felt like they lost their momentum after that round 11, and they simply could not hang in the second half of that Uplink.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, even if they do win the Search and Destroy, I don't know how you beat this LG team today in Respawn game modes. I mean, they have just been, they haven't really been that close. I mean, every Uplink I've seen today, they've been blowouts. The hard points, you know, they've almost been 100-point club in all the teams they've been going against. It's just a team that looks so good right now.
Well, there's a lot going on.